can leave the pod. No, let's have this debate quickly to finish off this part of the retro review. Daniel, don't worry, we do have a lot of other things to talk about in the second half of this podcast. But where we talk about stuff like NCAA, I love it. But let me ask you guys this. Let's have the debate. Who is the greatest goaltender of all time?
Ooh. I don't know. I feel like if I say my answer, you guys are gonna like jump on me.
We can talk about it.
Jean-Sébastien Giguère? Is that your answer?
For nostalgic reasons, that would be it, but not for like the ultimate hockey answer.
I think there's arguments for Brodeur, and I think there's arguments for Patrick Roy too.
Yeah. For me personally, I think it's Brodeur.
All right. Why?
I don't know. I know people are gonna say like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna look at these things." So I said like the stats, like the awards, the Olympic gold medals.
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
Sorry, I know exactly what Adam's response is going to be because he said it earlier in the episode. I think the issue that he has with Brodeur is that Brodeur, I think, played not necessarily played too long, but he pushed way too long. Like did he really have to go to St. Louis?
I have a few issues with Martin Brodeur. A, he's boring.
Oh my God!
No.
That's not how you judge a hockey player. I
love his style of play. I don't know, like his personality or his style of play.
First of all, he's sold out. Enterprise, I can't stand it. Second of all, here's the thing with Martin Brodeur compared to Patrick Roy. What Patrick Roy did for the no. Listen to me. This is a legitimate argument. Everyone that we haven't talked about yet is what Patrick Roy did for the position of the goalie and the butterfly position as a whole.
So question: how are you judging who's the best goalie?
All right. Okay. So first of all, I look at Patrick Roy first. First of all, I'll give some credit to Marty Brodeur.
Okay.
As many Jennings trophies as Patrick Roy. All right. Okay. Fantastic. You won a Calder. Fantastic. Good for you. And he has one more Vezina trophy than Patrick at 4. He's got the most wins of all time from a goaltender. I respect that. 691, fantastic. 1,200 games played. I believe only 3 goaltenders have played 1,000 games. That's Lou, Waugh, and that. So, lots of credit to Brodeur. He's the second best goalie of all time, in my opinion.
I have a question. I have a legitimate question. And I just want you to lay it out for me. Don't compare Patrick Roy and Martin Brodeur right now.
Yes, okay.
How do you judge who's the best goalie? What do you use to make that judgment?
I look at awards, I look at stats, and I look at what you do for the position as a whole and how you do the game.
Okay, so wait a second there. So 2 out of the 3 things you said, you admitted that Martin Brodeur is better at. You said he has more awards. He has more awards than Patrick Roy.
He does, yes.
Okay, stats. Brodeur has the most wins, correct?
He has the most wins. Yeah, he's first and Patrick's second.
Okay, but he's first.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the third thing then?
All right.
Wait, we're saying the third thing again? Yeah.
How you influence the position, how you change the position, how you change the game.
But how
Patrick Roy revolutionized the butterfly position goaltender.
Okay, but how does that make a judgment on how good he is? That's an external thing.
Well, he changed the game. That's the thing I think you have to look at a player's career is how you've changed everything. You look at the best teams of all time, and one of the things that's so good about the old 70s Montreal Canadiens is they're the reason the power play has changed. You have to give credit to how somebody changed the game, that they were so good at something that it's changed. There's a reason why a guy like Carey Price now he's went on to influence Carter Hart, the way they play the game. I don't think that's something you can discount from Patrick.
I'm not saying you discount it from him. I'm saying I don't know if that's necessarily something I put into my determination of who the best goalie is of all time.
Well, I do though.
Okay.
So, and what I love about Patrick Moore is that
he played for Montreal.
There has never been a more arrogant son of a bitch than Patrick Roy in this game.
I think that's why I don't really. Factors in for me. That factors into it for me. I don't know.
So we talked about it a little bit earlier, Daniel. You remember when he was in Avalanche and he breaks the center ice with the puck? A goalie spins around after making a sweet little deke on Wayne Gretzky. Jeremy Roenick, I can't hear what he says because I have my 2 rings plugging my ears. Flipping the puck to Mario Tremblay. Waugh gets caught hot dogging. His fight against Chris Osgood. There's so much about Patrick Waugh. His first game when he was coaching for Colorado against Minnesota, when he's pushing like the stanchion down on Bruce Boudreau. It's like, Waugh's bringing the house down. I love Patrick Waugh. I just love him so much. And again, Marty, at the end of the day, Marty was just pushing, like, why'd you go to St. Louis? Plus, he's one of those Hockey Canada dudes. He's the reason that Binnington never got a shot in backup goalie. Remember that? That's the thing from Spittin' Chicklets. Is there a certain bit of bias because he was a Montreal Canadian? Of course. I'm not
high bias.
I don't know. Yeah, there is, because, like, again, you're saying I'm a bit older, but that's the thing. I grew up watching Brodeur from 1999 until his retirement. I know like it's a bit of a bias too, because I didn't really I saw Waugh, like, I remember thinking Waugh was the best, and then when he lost to Minnesota in that first round in 2003, and then he retired, I was like, wow, that was pretty shocking. But for me personally, like, I think, like, you bring up the St. Louis thing a lot. That's 7. He played 7 games for that. I don't think that tarnishes anything. He still wanted to play. He proved it the year before when they still got Corey Schneider. He proved it the year before that, before the lockout. He made it to the finals with that New Jersey team. I think, for me personally, I think that he kind of showed that why he was the best. And then people are going to say, oh, it's because he had the overtime wins. He had the shootout wins. Like, that doesn't even factor into, like, that factors into, like, a small percentage, the amount of wins he has. If you even look back, I think he revolutionized the game too, but more of a system kind of thing, where people are going to argue that early in his career, he had Scott Stevens, he had Brian Rafalski, he had Scott Niedermayer. Yeah, he had the trap system. Like, but even moving forward, like, who was his best defenseman when the Devils were still consistently making 48 win seasons, or like actually making the playoffs? Like, his number 1 defenseman was like Andy Green.
Huge name.
Yeah. So like and the way he played, I think it didn't really influence, because like he's one of those last hybrid type of goalies. But I like put him in that same argument of like Dominic Hasek, like these guys that on their own kind of showed why they're superstars, and like no one else could do it better than them. But that's the thing. It's like you focus on the player, not on how they kind of influence the future generations. I think that's how I kind of see it.
That's fair enough.
You know who you guys have completely missed out on?
If you bring up a Leaf legend, I swear to God, Alex.
Leaf legend, Andrew Raycroft.
I think the 3 of us can all agree on that. Patrick and Marty are probably 1 and 2.
Yes.
We disagree on the order.
Yes.
Who's 3? We can finish it up here. Who's 3? I never really think about that. Is it Hasek?
I think it's Dominic Hasek.
Probably.
That's
dude won 4 Vezinas with like a okay Buffalo team.
Oh no, Buffalo.
He won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Vezina trophies.
Yeah, wow. With Buffalo.
Yeah, but Buffalo was okay back then.
Yeah. Man, he's a weird one. He's one of those fish goalies that look really, really weird, and you never know. I think it was what they used to say that Dominic Hasek used to get in the head of the opponent even before a game. You'd wonder. So that's a sign of a very good goaltender.